And we wouldn't want to make Facebook mad at us.
No.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
that's
never
how
gonna
the
like
most
it.
people that
The
watch
Zuck
live
knows
watch us.
everything.
Normally we get like 2 viewers on Facebook when we do this.
Well, whenever I'm here and I post it, I get my friend Brian, who always comes in and says hi, and that's it. But hey, a viewer's a viewer. Why are you
Yeah.
doing
Sometimes
this?
Art, sometimes Luke.
Cool.
Yeah, so we don't have a show for next week,
Okay.
but yeah. We could always be timely and do Mortal Kombat since that comes out on HBO Max in 2 days.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I am going to watch the shit out of that movie, though. It looks so bad good.
I was the biggest fan of the OG Mortal Kombat movie. I saw that at the Esquire on opening night with
Is
a
that
bunch of my friends.
the guy with the hat?
Ray
Yeah.
Ryden, played by Christopher Lambert in the original.
I remember the cartoon because I think Clancy Brown was his voice.
That's very possible.
That's
And
very possible.
I love Clancy Brown, and that's all there is to that.
I just think Christopher Lambert as the ancient Japanese god of thunder and lightning was an inspired casting choice.
Oh. Okay. All right.
I wonder if they've made choices like that this time around.
They don't look like it.
No, it looks
I
like
don't think
they
so.
made a very concentrated effort to be a lot more ethnically authentic. But from what I have heard, they intentionally did keep the original techno theme song, which is the correct choice.
That's the correct choice. But
Should I leave and come back?
You're fine.
It's going to fix
Because it's
it.
doing this.
It
One,
did this the
I
last
think it's
time.
hilarious.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
Let it go.
what's even more hilarious are the reactions that she has when it actually settles down.
Listen, that clip of Sub-Zero turning that blood into an ice knife, that's hot. That is.
You know what?
That is
I
hot.
I have not seen the trailer yet.
It's hot, Tony. It's
I
hot.
I thought I'd just go in cold.
That's well. You know what?
Ice knife cold.
It's gonna be ice knife cold. Yeah.
We have enough experience with ice knives.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. We've been doing all these Oscar movies. Let's do another achievement in filmmaking and do Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Here's what the real bummer is gonna be. The real bummer is gonna be that this movie is gonna come out in 2021. And it's going to be the pinnacle of human cinematography for the 2020s, and it comes out in 2021. So we got to suffer through 8 more years.
Everything's downhill after this.
We're peaking very early.
Very early.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
My face is like this weird angle. I don't. Okay. Anyway.
Hey, this is Tony.
This is Eric.
This is Lena.
And this is David. You
We
need
are
to
the
get more
backseat
Zoom
producers.
calls.
Yeah.
Get real used to looking at yourself.
I have no job. I don't. If I get out of bed before noon, good on me.
Yeah, there's a... Julie was telling me she saw an article that there's a boom in plastic surgeries because of the
People having to look at themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not used to looking at their own faces, so they realize the things that bug them really want to fix. So now's the time, I guess. You get that stimulus check and
Stimmy face.
got to do something about it, I guess.
Yeah, there's there's a whole bunch of like weird side effects to the economy from the pandemic. Like apparently there's a lumber shortage right now.
Yeah.
And wood
That
is
makes
very
sense.
expensive.
Mhm.
But that has it's a combination of home improvement and capitalism monopolies.
Yeah.
But
I
Yeah.
am using my tax refund and my stimulus money. I don't know if it's wisely, but My niece is getting married mid-June. So I have to go back up to New Hampshire for that. So there's airfare, and there's hotel, and there's presents, and there's a semi-formal something I have to wear. I don't know what semi-formal is.
Is semi-formal more complicated for chicks? Like, I just kind of feel like it's gonna be a dress regardless, right?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wear a dress. It's easier. My mother thinks I should get a nice pantsuit, but not wide leg, just a nice pantsuit. That's extra pieces of clothing.
You know what? You do you.
A dress, slap on some underwear, put on a dress, boom, you're done.
You know, it's June. Why even
Really,
go with the
the
underwear?
underwear is
Exactly,
optional. I
exactly.
mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's June in New Hampshire, though.
It's both indoor, like it's an outdoor venue, but they have indoor stuff as well. I sound so strange to myself. Do I, like when I talk, am I just normal?
420 was yesterday, Lena.
Not when you don't have a job. Like, I sound like I have my ears plugged. I sound really weird to myself. But you guys
Well,
sound
you
fine.
you do.
You have
'cause
your
you've
ears
got-
plugged.
Yeah, it's
I don't. You know why? Because I was using the big headset last time, and that doesn't do it.
Mm.
So yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Speaking of 420, my boss and my coworker both had their kids yesterday.
Oh,
That's two 420
What-
babies.
was your boss actually there for the birth, or did she not want him there either?
I assume. Actually, it was really funny. So I had a meeting he was supposed to be on, and one of the other guys who was supposed to be there just like called in sick. So I was like, "Hey, third guy, I don't know anything about what you guys are doing for this part of the project. Can you just show up? And if I have to talk about it, just tell me what you're doing or whatever." So he logs in, and he logs in under my boss's account, so it looks like my boss is logged in. And I'm like, why are you here? Go be at the birth of your child.
apparently it's not that big a deal for him. I don't know. Is this like his fifth or something?
Second.
By the way, ADP, your hair, glorious.
I know.
I
know.
I can't even.
9 days until I can get it cut.
No,
Mhm.
no.
It's
You've got
past
to
tit
you've
length now.
you've got to at least once do it up in one of those like standing straight up samurai looks. Top
That's
knot, yeah.
that's very hard to do.
Well, you've got 9 days to figure it out.
YouTube, man, YouTube.
I assume wires are involved. I don't know.
It's glue.
Okay.
That's
Perfect.
typically how they do it. Because I did something similar when I did a Bleach cosplay like 10 years ago, and I was supposed to dye my hair like blonde, but it ended up being orange, which actually ended up being better. So
How long ago do you think that was?
10 years ago.
Was that all it was?
Tony,
Time means nothing.
Tony, do we have
Come on.
do we have to
Hi,
do this?
Becca.
Do we
Hey,
have to
Becca.
do this, Tony?
I think I'm used to my hair now from... Oh, there you go.
We should just have Kristen. Because Kristen does the full mohawk.
Hair glue or pipe cleaners? Oh, you could be like that lady with the Gorilla Glue.
Oh, that's a bad move.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Poor-
used to my hair now, even though it's a mess right now.
You don't get long hair like this by using Gorilla Glue.
Oh, I know.
You
No.
learn those
I,
mistakes when you have short hair.
I've actually managed to keep things relatively trim through the pandemic because Monica's gotten very good at cutting my hair.
You know, there's no reason that has to stop when the pandemic's over either.
It is a savings of some cash.
That's
There you
$20
go.
right there every. I don't know,
Oh
3
no
weeks or
no! I
whatever.
mean my haircuts cost $20, but I tip like 30.
What?
Yeah, I tip
I'll
like
cut your
150.
hair.
I tip like 150% to my hairdressers.
Wow.
Do you really? Oh my god!
I my mom was a professional hairdresser all my childhood, so I developed, and I kind of spent a lot of time around them because I was an 80s and 90s child, so we didn't have lives.
Sure.
And so I developed a very healthy respect for that profession, and it is, a lot of times very unappreciated. So I throw money at them. What the hell?
Hmm.
It's not like I get my hair cut very often, so
Yeah.
it's not a huge expenditure.
No, man, you're an easy mark. When you walk in, she's like, "Oh shit, this is a 5-minute job. I would make $50 on."
There have been times when I've actually seen the stylist's like heads twitch when I walk through the door. Like, oh, I think there's notes on my file.
When I got my hair done was it last week or the week before? I didn't realize I hadn't been in 2 solid years.
Oof.
Because I found a
Wow.
picture in my Facebook memories when it was cut short, which was 2 years ago. And when I got my hair done, I was showing Jordan, who does my hair, that I was like, "You cut my hair short 2 years ago. I haven't been back since." So this is how much it grows in 2 years.
It's nice.
It is
I
a
mean, it looks
hot
nice.
mess.
Nah, it looks nice.
I've kind of, they talked me into it, and I'm getting used to it. I've embraced this silver. So I actually
Yeah,
have more.
Me too.
I have, there
It's
you go.
dignified. Yeah, I was going to ask how you're keeping your hair in check, Tony.
Yeah, I just
It's you know what it grows. It's there.
Yes, yeah.
I just get my hair cut every like 3 or 4 months. Like I get it trimmed like ridiculously short. Like it's getting to the point now where it's almost needing it again. Like when I can, it's getting unruly.
Fucking dirty hippie. God.
Yeah, when the problem is when it's this long, it sticks straight out. Like it just goes in every direction. When it's this short, that doesn't matter.
you
It
know.
just stays
But when it
there.
gets to about the 3/4 inch length and it's doing that, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, it's got to go. It's got to go. Julie always makes fun of me because I say that it's getting unruly, and it does. It's bad.
Like I almost can't see through it anymore. Oh,
Yeah. What's worse is like I've just given up on my face. Like I don't trim like oh shit, I haven't shaved in 2 weeks, so I guess I should. I haven't trimmed this mess in a month or two. I better do something about that. Yeah, I'm to the point now I should probably do something about this. And I'm probably going to shave for the weekend. I'm going to actually be seeing people, even though I'll be wearing a mask the whole time. We're Holden's plays this weekend.
oh,
So
that's right. Oh, so there is a live play as well as it being live streamed?
yeah,
okay.
they're doing the performance 3 times, and they're live streaming the performance each night. But we were actually able to get tickets. We got tickets once, and then they're like, "Oh, well, we've still got openings, so we got more tickets." And they're like, "We still have openings, so we're going all 3 nights."
Very good.
How have the reviews been?
There have been clips shown on Facebook, and things are looking really good. Things are looking really good. We have been hearing Holden sing the songs from it since last summer, because he was just in the ensemble, and because they held the play over till this year, they were like literally like 2 weeks away from opening night when they had to scrap everything because of the school shutting down and everything. So like all the kids that were cast and were ready to perform, like 2/3 of them, 1/3 of them, 2/3 to a half of them were seniors because they had a big senior class that year. And the seniors tend to, get the bigger named roles anyway. They're not there. They had to completely recast a bunch of the roles, which meant Holden moved from the ensemble to the lead.
Very good.
So, yeah.
I mean, it is good luck for Holden. I feel
Yeah.
bad for those seniors from last year.
Yeah,
Like, that
yeah,
just
it was
sucks.
rough. It was rough. You know, it was rough, and it's been rough for seniors last year and this year. Like seniors last year had 2/3 of their year. You know, they had up to March. Now they missed out on their senior play. They missed out on prom. They missed out on a big graduation. Um, but we kept telling Holden, it's like, oh, it's so much worse for you because you had nothing. Like you had no senior year. He has been in class one day. He went to school. He went to school in class one day just to pick up physical material. Everything else he's done virtually.
I saw,
but he's like, his opinion on it is, you know what? We knew it. We knew for a year that we weren't going to have a senior year, so we were ready for it. Last year's senior, they just had it all yanked out from under them. There was no, almost no warning for them that it was just all of a sudden it's gone.
I did read this morning that I think Edwardsville and Collinsville are going to have a prom this year. Seems a bit risky.
Yeah. O'Fallon's doing, they're doing what they're calling a promenade, and they're letting the kids all dress up in their outfits.
Oh, cool.
They're doing a thing on the football field around the track where they're able to keep everybody distanced. They'll still be able to do picture opportunities. They'll still have, I don't know all the stuff they're doing, but like any of the senior personality award kind of things, like most popular, most likely to succeed, any of that crap. That's when they're doing those things. But yeah, there's no prom this year. There's no homecoming. Their fall play was all on Zoom. They recorded it on Zoom. It's just really different for all of them.
God, you know how much fun senior year was because I fucked around a lot.
Same. I took graphic arts.
Took 2 study halls.
I took graphic arts. I came in at the normal schedule because we have our school had an early bird schedule, so you could show up an hour early and leave an hour early. I came in at the regular time and left an hour early. I took graphic arts for my senior year just so I could hang out with the stoners. I didn't do any of that stuff, but I got to hang out with a completely different class of people than I was hanging out with in my trig and honors psych class or honors physics classes and advanced chem classes. It was great. I had a blast. I could have graduated early, but just decided not to because, what the hell am I else going to do between December and May? I might as well just hang out here.
I don't remember a whole lot of my senior year being that different. I mean, it was mostly kind of the same types of classes as when I was a junior, just 1 year up, I suppose. There were no shenanigans on my part.
You didn't just check out around February? After you sent in that last college application, you got those acceptance letters and you were like,
none of this matters at all anymore.
Yeah. Literally everyone here is you still have to get good grades because they're going to check your transcripts. They're not going to do that. They want my money and they're going to get it.
I was not allowed to lie.
Who banished Lena?
My mother's listening. Oh no. I was not allowed to apply to the colleges I wanted to because they were out of state. So I could only apply in state, which I did not want. I did not want to go to school with anyone that I went to school with. Did not want that. So I still had to get good grades and blah, 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 blah. And now look at me.
Being
Oh,
banished
that-
on a-
That's exactly
Being
where I wanted the
banished on
camera to dip out.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
If-
And now look at me.
Now you know.
It's a
There it
PSA.
goes.
If I tap the wires, it goes wonky. So
There's a cautionary tale from every student loan servicer. Listen, kids, get yourself a bunch of debt. Otherwise, this is what happens to you.
don't be like me. I ran out of classes.
Mythology class.
No-
I don't
oh,
think
wow.
any crap like that in my high school.
Dude, I would have gone to mythology class.
Yeah, really.
Oh,
Dr. Harden. He is a doctor.
oh okay. I don't think I've ever actually met him. Hi, Mitch.
He's very tall.
Is he? I'm pretty sure I haven't.
Yeah, he
Okay.
he came over and I was concerned about the distance between his head and the fans in my living room. I could see he
That
was
was pretty
also
damn tall.
concerned.
He probably has a lot more intimate awareness of that than you do, though.
Oh, almost undoubtedly.
He's
One of those
leveled up
things you
his.
learn- Yeah, you learn to live with that, right?
Hmm Well, I was
He's got fan wise.
I was trying to use reference points to kind of like gauge how tall he was without asking, and then like the fan was the reference point I was using. I was like, holy shit, that fan is almost hitting him in the head. So that tall.
All
right.
Well done, Becca. If I was in band, I would have too. I was in the choir. I was in chorus. That was as close as I got to band type stuff.
I was in the computer club.
Oh,
No.
My
There was no computer club when I was in high school.
It was pretty new for me. I mean,
yeah,
it
it
was
was
the
Stone Tablet Club.
It was
it was the early '90s, so yeah, it was. We it was a big deal when we got our 486s.
right after my advanced abacus class. Then there was nothing else to do.
So my school, DeSmet, would do Mission Week, where they would have a bunch of games and stuff that you could pay money to play. It would all go to charity or whatever. Well, the one of the things that they did was they networked our like 60 computer lab together and played Team Fortress. So you could buy that for half-hour increments, and it was like that shit. Like it was just right on the. I entered high school right when the internet was like a realistic thing that people could actually start interacting with, and this like massive networked game was blowing my goddamn mind.
Oh yeah, I bet.
No. You entered high school when the internet was starting to become something that was actually widely
Commercial.
functional. I entered high school when the internet was just becoming something you could physically interact with on our 2400 baud modems, and you could access bulletin boards because the web basically didn't exist yet.
Oh, I had this job.
Yeah, there
where-
was it was just the internet. There was no web pages. I remember like seeing web pages for the first time, and that was just even
Blows
after
your
being
mind.
on even being on Telnet sessions and
Oh my god!
I
talk
fucking
sessions.
I think I was around 20, and I had this job where my boss spent 7.5 hours of every day on what is it? The
BBS.
Yeah, on gay BBS rooms. Just all day, just all damn day.
I spent an inordinate amount of time in mucks, muses, and mushes.
Yep.
I don't know
'Cause
what
that
that
was-
is.
I was doing that a lot in my first couple of
You're
years.
gonna
Mud
wish they were the
college.
gay rooms.
Yeah. MUDs were multi-user dungeon, multi-user space,
Okay.
multi-user shell hosting.
It was.
I remember all the.
basically- It was.
It's all the same stuff.
basically
It's
online
text
role-playing.
adventure.
I mean,
Yeah, it was text adventuring, but online.
The nerdist shit.
Yeah.
Is that some code for drugs? The Yahoo. Also, Mitch, you're more than a foot taller than me. That's tall.
You'll get to do the size comparison at the pool party.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
Got to buy a bathing suit.
They did specify you must wear a bathing suit.
So I can't just show up in some boxers. I mean, come on.
Oddly enough, I don't know how they got your name specifically, but it did specifically say you.
He's on the list.
Is there a picture of him? Don't let him in. Watch him. Follow him. Thank you.
All right, let's talk about this movie.
Okay.
There was a movie.
And the
Yes.
Oscars is. Yeah. All right, so the movie is Promising Young Woman. Eric, what did you think of the movie?
It was definitely 2 hours of being very uncomfortable the entire time. I guess the most positive thing I can say about it is it was a very good show of dramatic tension. Like, I remember very specific scenes that were that classic, almost Hitchcockian, you know what's coming. They've telegraphed what's coming. You can see it about to happen, but they're making you wait for it, and it does a good job of creating that tension. The one that really stood out for me was when her quote friend from medical school
Medical school.
brought her the phone with the video on it and left it on the table, and there's just that shot of her staring at that phone, and you know she's gonna watch it and it's gonna break everything, but they really played it out. That was a really well done scene, I thought. And in general, I thought a lot of the shots, like the framing of the shots, were really, really well done. That said, I mean, it's a revenge movie, but the revenges were all kind of weak. And then it became like a suicide pact at the end. So I don't know. It was hard to watch. It was very uncomfortable the entire time. And then afterwards it was like, well, that was unpleasant. And I'm not sure it really, I don't even know if it sold the idea that it was, I mean, all men, that's the end story for this. It is indeed all men.
Lena, what did you think?
Well, from the previews when it was initially on Netflix, it gave very little of the movie away, so I didn't really know. Once it started, I read a deeper synopsis, but I just remember at the very beginning thinking, this is like the worst opening of, what is that, the SC channel? The one with like Pretty Little Liars and all that.
CW?
FX. CW, that's it. I'm like, this is the weirdest CW show opening I've ever seen. It was difficult at times, but it definitely drew me in. And it was interesting. It wasn't fabulous. It was interesting. It was good. But there were a couple other things that I'll talk about later that I found particularly interesting. So yeah, thumbs up.
David.
I liked this movie when it was hard candy.
You broke up there for a second, but I think I know exactly what you just said.
I said I liked this movie when it was hard candy. And that's all I said.
Yep, I thought so.
Yeah.
You said that, and I thought Strangers with Candy, and I'm like, where the fuck is he going with this?
Well, I'm actually happy I looked it up like 5 seconds ago because I was thinking the name of that movie was Jawbreaker earlier, and that's not the name of that movie.
Nope,
that's a
it's Hard
different
Candy. Yeah. It's Hard
That's a way
Candy.
different movie.
Kids don't
Yeah.
look it up.
Yeah, it's hard candy. Yeah. Yeah, hard candy
Yeah.
is the one I mean.
Yeah. I gotta like very early Hard Candy vibe from this,
I
like
don't know if I saw
right
Hard
from the
Candy.
jump. Once I realized, because I didn't really look anything up about the movie, I did not read a preview of it other than like the brief preview that we saw last week, which was like 2 sentences. That was like revenge comedy, revenge thriller, like, and I saw different synopses. That one called it a revenge comedy and one called it a revenge mystery thriller. So I was like, I really want to see where this is going to go, since
Well, they
they're
had it
calling it
labeled
something
as a
different
thriller
at its
comedy.
base. Yeah,
And
I
mean,
see it. I mean, I can see it because of the jokey nature of the relationship between her and the doctor. There was
Right.
they
okay.
they kind of leaned into the romantic comedy elements of that just a little bit. But I would be really hard pressed to call it a comedy.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I really thought of as far as comedy was Jennifer Coolidge as the mom. That was really all I could.
Yeah, really,
think of.
the living at home thing was kind of the main thing that was kind of played for something resembling laughs. But even then, the whole thing was really meant to be uncomfortable at the same time.
Yeah.
And there's an aspect of humor that plays up on that. Like a lot of TV shows will. I mean, it's kind of the Seinfeld type of humor, right? Where uncomfortable situations are played for laughs. I've never had a good reaction to that kind of humor, so it really didn't come across for me. But yeah, like the synopsis on Amazon is: traumatized by a tragic event in her past, Cassie seeks out vengeance in this thrilling and wildly entertaining story about a delicious new take on revenge. And that is not how I would have described this movie.
No, that's a weird way to market this movie.
I mean, not knowing when I first started really what was happening when that first guy took her home. I mean, I'm sitting there going, well, she's going to kill him. So let's just see how this all plays out. This is not anything that I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I actually kind of liked that, though. Like my expectations were that it was going to be like, just knowing the little bit about it, I'm like, oh, she's going to be like a serial killer. And then that's where this is going to go. And it was like, oh, well, no, she's not.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I was actually kind of cool that they subverted that expectation, because I thought it was definitely going to be a lot darker than it was. I think because I was getting such a strong Hard Candy vibe from it.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to look
I
up
actually
Hard Candy now.
Enjoyed the experience of watching this movie more than Hard Candy. Hard Candy definitely made me feel far more uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what I liked about Hard Candy. It felt like they keep using the word revenge, but like the majority of the things that she's doing to normal people every time, like, isn't revenge.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't really feel like it is doing much.
No, it doesn't.
Like, maybe it makes her feel better at the time, like, just in general, just as a coping mechanism, but, like, okay.
Yeah, I think that, I kind of got that whole vibe that it was, it kind of puts a little bit of fear into the guys that do that, but otherwise it doesn't, like, it's got to be more for a self-satisfaction kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, it was movies like this. They tend to want to tell you how you're supposed to feel about what the main character is doing, right? So in a case where they go all serial killer, you're supposed to be like, well, okay, obviously horrible things happen to this person, but this is too far, and you're not supposed to go like, this isn't supposed to be how you react or whatever. And in this case, it was almost like, well, she's not really making anything necessarily better, or is she? Like, is this too far? Is she justified in her actions? And I don't know. It almost felt like it couldn't decide how serious it wanted to be about how far she was willing to go.
Mhm.
It almost felt, and really, I think it succeeded in being a story that was trying to evoke the Me Too essence of movies like Hard Candy and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but be more palatable to a mainstream audience. And I think it actually succeeds in that, because it doesn't have as hard of an edge as Hard Candy does. Because Hard Candy is a hard sell. It is a much harder sell than this movie would be. Like, I got done watching it and I was like, Julie, I think you would really like to watch this movie. Like,
Yeah, and it is kind of a difficult line to take, right? If you're gonna promote justice and like doing the right thing, that murdering these people in revenge killings is maybe not how you handle that. And Mitch is right. Like, let's just separate out our encounters into the randos and then the specific people, right? The specific people, she definitely turns back on them the victimhood that they inflicted on her friend, which unfortunately, because of Fleabag, I just automatically assume when there's a character that's not on screen that they're just dead, right? And then that's just the trick, right? So just like instantly I was like, okay, well, I know what this is. But even then, it feels, I don't know if I like the teeth from Hard Candy more than the not teeth from this. Like, it may be more mainstream palatable, but also is less entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and honestly,
I think a more mainstream audience isn't going to get the same enjoyment of the teeth, of that really violent, vicious revenge.
The thing too is I feel like they were implying that it was going to be more like that at the very beginning, because when you see her going home in the morning from that first encounter, she's got blood on her clothes, she's got blood running down her arms. Like, okay, where that didn't come from her. So but then the rest of the movie, she's essentially nonviolent right up until the very end. And even then, it's hard to say if she ever intended to go through with what she was threatening, or if she was trying to provoke the reaction she got the whole time.
Well, what was interesting, when I read the little more detailed synopsis of the movie, I think it was on Wikipedia, they mentioned a lot of things that were never in the movie. Like, this scene takes place here, but in the movie it actually took place somewhere else. And it said in that plot...
What are you referring to?
The end scene.
What
that Eric was talking about.
But
like, is she really going to go through with it, or?
But you were saying on Wikipedia you're reading a synopsis. Like, was this based on a book, or?
It said it was the movie.
Okay.
Oh God, maybe I did read the book.
No. But
yeah.
But you seem to intimate that scenes didn't take place in the same place.
Well, there was when she goes back to the medical school to talk to the dean or whoever she was.
You broke up and lost you there for a second.
When she goes back to the medical school to talk to the dean, Connie Britton, what I was reading, now I need to go back. Maybe I was looking at the book. It said like that took place under a bridge. And when she goes to the bachelor party, she did begin to carve Nina's name into his chest.
Oh, this must be based on a book then, or something.
Yeah, mine must have been
real. And that could be just saying the differences between whatever the source material was in the movie. If it's based on a book, I was just not aware that it was.
Okay. Yeah, neither was I. Right. But apparently it was. There was.
No. This was actually it was the movie under Wikipedia. It gave a little more into the plot than was in the movie.
Yeah, well, but because this is something I'd missed completely when I didn't realize what she was trying to do to the guy when he was in the bed. Like I didn't know what the plan was because it wasn't very
Yeah, I didn't
clear
either.
with what she
Yeah.
had. But apparently, she was planning on carving Nina's name
Nina's
into
name.
his abdomen. Yeah, but like she doesn't ever say that,
Right.
and like the thing that she's got is not like they don't really close up on it or describe it or anything.
Hmm.
So, two things. First, Eric, at the beginning, it's pretty quickly established that that's ketchup, not blood on her.
Oh, did they?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I missed.
like,
Sorry, I missed.
She was
so
walking
did
with
I.
a hot dog.
I
Oh,
thought it was a donut.
Or maybe it was a donut and jelly. I don't know. It
Maybe
looked
because
like a
I was
hot
looking,
dog
I
or
was
something.
watching it going.
Yeah,
"Oh,
maybe
I
a
want a
donut
donut
makes a lot
now."
more sense, though. I mean, it is first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
but street meat. So
gotta love a street meat.
Thank you, Mitch.
Okay,
yeah,
I
Mitch thinks
missed.
it's a jelly donut too. Either way, she was eating something that was dripping
Yeah.
down her arm and on her leg.
Okay.
Yeah, so I never like the flash of seeing it on her leg and then on her arm. Yeah, I was totally with you. There was blood, and then I saw she was eating something that was then trailing down her arm. So I was like, yeah, no, that's not it. And I mean, we can jump to the end if you want, but I think I get the sense that her intention was always to have it play out like it did. She comes off as way too smart and way too in control of how that whole finale sequence went down for her to slip up on not making the
handcuffs strong enough.
the handcuffs strong enough or tight enough. That just feels like she knew what she was doing and she let it go there to see if it would. That was kind of her MO, was to give you the rope to hang. Yeah, well, give you the rope to hang yourself with, and like a lot of the guys did that. This guy at the end, went way beyond in doing it.
I don't know.
always-
I feel like she planned for the contingency, but I don't know that she had gone there with the intention of killing herself.
Maybe not, but she was I don't know. She just seemed ready.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I do think that it makes sense narratively that she went there to die, one way or another, because I mean, the one thing that they established from the very beginning of this movie is this is a broken woman. I mean, her life is in shambles, right? She has basically abandoned her life for 10 years. And the only motivation she has are these weekly, revenge outings, in which, like you said, it was really interesting that they show she lets it play out a long time each time before pulling the string on it, because I guess whether that's to really drive to suck them in and drive the point home, or on the outside chance that somebody doesn't act like a complete bastard, but this is all she's doing with her life. And then she gets a relationship, she gets convinced, okay, maybe you should actually move forward with your life for finally, and then it all falls apart, and then she's got nothing again, except this revenge.
Yeah, but this is like Mitch. This is where I disagree that she deleted her social media accounts, which at the time you interpreted as her plan to not come back from it. But she does that only specifically after she stops stalking the guy for his bachelor party stuff.
Yeah, at the time that was like her moving on.
Yeah, at the time it was her being done with that whole situation, right? It's just that once Alison Brie shows back up with the cell phone, she gets sucked back in because she can't deal with Ryan being on it.
Yeah.
Look at me! I even know the guy's name.
Well, I think the other thing is that she was always putting herself in danger. She she was using herself as the bait. She was always putting herself in a position of being at extreme risk. Going back to a guy's apartment who the guy thinks you're drunk and he may be drunk and high. That is not a safe place to be in, especially when you're pushing for this kind of turn where you're setting this guy up to be the asshole that he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you call him on it, it seems shocking to me that she didn't have a history of violence against her, honestly, considering the number of check marks she had in her book.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
And one of the other things that I think tricked me into thinking that she did sometimes have a violent outcome that we just never saw was that first one she marked in red.
Yeah.
And then the next one where we saw the whole thing play out and she lets the guy go and kind of gives him well, you tried to wake me up. That's more than some. And she just leaves. She marks in blue. And, the book was full of a bunch of blue and a handful of red. I thought maybe like red meant she did something to the guy or something. But
or that they did something to her. They were physically
or that
violent.
that might be.
So it wasn't. I mean, for me, the resolution that she definitely planned for the contingency of dying, but I think she thought, I don't know. It just felt like she was pushing for that. That was really her agenda in this. To these guys aren't going to just get away with this. There's got to be something that they can that they can pay for, that they can be punished with, and a murder is, I mean, that's pretty damning unless you're a cop.
Because even just sending the lawyer that old phone wasn't likely going to result in him being arrested for anything.
No.
So I really didn't put that together. So yeah, that does make better sense.
But it does go to motive. I mean, that's the
yeah.
thing that he'll be able to use that to go to motive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and honestly, one of the things as it was happening, one of the things I was thinking to myself is, she's getting murdered, right? And I'm thinking, okay, well, one way or another, this is going to turn out to be something she planned for to try and set this guy up, whether or not it was the intention or just a contingency. But I was thinking, yeah, but like, if the cops come or if they call the cops and they find her body like this, I mean, she had scalpels and he was handcuffed like that.
Mm-hmm.
There would have probably been enough that a good lawyer could have gotten him out of there without too much trouble, honestly. I mean, he probably would have had some problems with his wife, but in the long run, I don't think it would have actually done that much. But and this is something my guess is that she could guess would happen. They didn't call the cops. They covered it up, right? And then once the evidence is destroyed, and I'm sure they got rid of everything about her, once there's no scalpels, there's no handcuffs, there's just their story and a body.
Yeah.
All of a sudden that defense is a lot shakier. And
Yep.
Yeah. So one of the things that Mitch talked about earlier was the way that we handle revenge stories, like John Wick revenge stories where he kills a million people. So I've been thinking about that, and I think one of the stark differences here between this movie and Hard Candy is the nature in which the power imbalance is balanced. Right? In Hard Candy, she abducts the spoilers lineup. She abducts the guy. Elliot Page abducts the guy. I actually don't know how the pronouns work with that now. I guess the character's still a chick. They abduct the guy.
Okay.
So she creates power in the situation. But in this, she pretends that she's drunk and nearly passed out until like that moment right before.
Yep.
And then she removes the power from them, right? that's the way that she addresses the power imbalance and makes them feel the victim, right? Which I guess is an interesting opposite direction to take the revenge power imbalance thing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember because I saw this quote within the last week, and I don't remember where I saw it, but it fits this movie, so it may have been in this movie. I just don't recall. It's a quote by Andrew Vox, who is he's a activist, lawyer, writer, who is violent almost almost in his activism for protecting children, specifically child abuse, sexual abuse, that kind of thing. But the quote is, and I just clicked it, so it's pulling something up. When you hunt predators, the best camouflage is weakness. And I don't believe I saw it in this movie, which is weird because I saw it somewhere else in some media, because I remember seeing it on a screen. I have to try to remind myself of where I saw that. But yeah, that's what this feels like. Like that she created this camouflage of weakness, so she was able to completely scope out the situation. As much as she put herself in harm's way, she did seem to have a great awareness of where she was and like what the situation was with these guys. And also then with Alison Brie, because she crafts that situation, much in the way I imagine some of the situations happen at like these bars and stuff.
Yeah, honestly, the Alison Brie thing. So again, I honestly the movie suckered me in a good way. Like it got me to buy into things that it was trying to use as a bit of a smokescreen. So when the thing with Alison Brie first happened, I actually thought she was going as far as getting her assaulted by some rando dude. And
me too.
And like I was like, oh my gosh, like of all the things she's done, and this is where she crosses the line, that's troublesome. And then the reveal is no, nothing happened. The whole point is just to make you understand what somebody in that situation feels like without having to actually go through with it. Which was, I thought, a very clever idea. I am curious where in a movie where literally every single male person that we've met is utter garbage, she found a dude she trusted enough to pay not to assault this drunk woman.
Multiple dudes.
Yeah.
Multiple dudes.
Yeah.
Maybe she went to a gay bar.
At the gay bar. Oh! Electric Six told her where to go. That's a sick joke.
Also,
I'm not
her
apologizing for it.
Yeah, her dad seemed to be a decent dude.
Clancy Brown. He is a decent dude.
He's Clancy Brown.
Thank you. That's really all you need.
Her parents were very much kind of caricatures, I think. I mean, they were there for the comedy aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They just didn't. I think the comedy of the show was seeing Clancy Brown not be a villain. It's like, oh, you're just like a normal dad.
In disguise.
Yeah, this is weird.
This way no one will recognize me.
And there was like maybe 5% of my brain that was completely dedicated to Clancy Brown did it. And that's going to be the twist at the end of this movie.
No.
I never thought that, but I should have. You're right.
When she's under the pillow, I'm like, is this where Clancy Brown rides in to save the day? Is that going to be the twist?
Turns out Clancy Brown's been Batman this whole time.
Oh,
Oops.
I'd watch that.
Don't you bad talk my Clancy. Don't do it.
Ooh, Clancy Brown is the Batman Beyond Batman.
I mean, if you're
how
not going
about-
to do it, if you're not going to get
how
Michael
about
Keaton,
Dark
then-
Knight Returns? The Dark Knight Returns Batman, Clancy Brown.
Ooh. I would if you're not going to get Michael Keaton to do it. Yes, Eric, we all heard you. Ooh. I'm going to think about that tonight before I go to bed.
There'll be notes on it tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, you know what's going to have to happen in the Punch-Out movie.
You always got to have a surprise twist in there.
You never put Clancy Brown in a corner.
You know, now that they're releasing Mortal Kombat, that's just the prequel to the Punch-Out verse.
Oh my
I mean, think about it.
Jesus,
Don't
King
think too
Hippo's-
hard.
King Hippo is Goro. I fucking knew it. Shit writes itself.
Have we gone long enough though that you can have the big guest reveal at the end be Mike Tyson? Like, has he had long
That it's
enough
still
outside of the public
actually-
spotlight?
I mean, he was in The Hangover. That was what, 6 years
Yeah,
ago?
it's true.
Doesn't he have his own cartoon on Adult Swim?
Does
Does
he?
he?
Mike Tyson's Mysteries.
Oh
Oh my
God!
god. I gotta look
If you
for
say
that.
so. It's disturbing, but okay.
So, an interesting piece about going back to the movie, the Al, whatever his name was, the groom, the guy who raped Nina. As far as an actor, I've never not seen him in anything else, and I looked up, his bio, and it was nothing I'd seen. I'm like, he looks familiar. He looks so familiar. And when I read that A Promising Young Woman, the title was taken from Brock Turner's Trial, where they kept calling him a promising young man. And I was like, oh, that guy looks like Brock Turner. He really looked like Brock Turner. And it just kind of wigged me out there for a minute.
In that he's like a youngish white guy. So
Yeah,
I
You
did
are
rec-
overlay.
I did recognize him because, and this kind of gets back to, it did occasionally have a little bit of a best hits of CW feel. There was a major Veronica Mars cast reunion thing going on in this movie. Like there were many people, and the guy who played Al was one of the characters in the later seasons of Veronica Mars.
Al. I was going to say Al Molina.
No, the groom.
No,
Yeah.
don't bring Alfred Molina into this.
No.
Listen,
I'm
he
not
led
saying-
Indiana
I love
Jones
him.
to that tomb. All right.
I'm
He
not
did
bad mouthing
his
him
part.
at all. I'm not
Doc
bad
Brown
mouthing him
does
at all.
No wrong.
I first saw him, I think, in Enchanted April, and have been it's a lovely girly movie. It's
Not
fun.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, I don't know if I saw that.
Definitely Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah. Well, I don't
He's
know
like
if
the
I saw
first guy
Raiders.
you see.
Yeah,
No.
well, he's in like 5 minutes of the movie before he dies, though.
That's probably a
Spoiler,
good point.
Eric. But they're all good. But
Spoiler
they're-
for,
What I'm
iconic-
saying is I
spoiler
don't
for that
know.
50-year-old
I
movie. or
don't
whatever.
know if I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark when it came out. I might not have seen it until a couple of years after. Oh, don't give me that look.
Your pro-Nazi sympathies. Your
Oh my
political opposition to Indiana Jones.
It would have to have been a while after.
I don't know. I'm old. I have zero memory. Remember, it's always 420 to me.
Enchanted
Okay.
April came out in 91.
I liked it. It was lovely. I want to see it again, but I'd have to pay for it.
And Indiana Jones was, what, 78?
81.
Oh, then I probably saw him for Indiana Jones.
Yeah, you did. Raiders 81.
81, that sounds about right, yeah, because it was right after
81, wow.
Empire.
I'm hot.
Wait, this movie wasn't even released until 92.
Really?
Yeah.
Whatever. I have no sense of direction and no sense of time. These are things you must know about me. I'm terrible. Honestly, I don't. If it wasn't a song that came out in the first half of the 80s, I don't know anything.
Well, that is my weak spot in music trivia. Well, actually, it's everything before 97.
Before
Jesus
97?
Christ,
Yeah.
you child.
Well, I know how much you love the music of the 80s.
I don't.
You love it.
So there was a really cool cover that I caught
Yes.
in the middle of the movie of Toxic.
Uh-huh.
Toxic. That was the
Apparently-
best part of the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
Apparently,
really good.
it was in the movie twice, but I only remember that like spookier one.
Near
where
the
she's
end where
approaching
she's
the-
a nurse. Yeah.
Yeah, where she's
So good.
approaching the house. Yeah,
Yes.
that really set the scene really well.
Yeah.
Because
I
like I heard the first few notes, the first
Yeah.
And you-
the first
and-
bar of it, I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. And then I listened just a little more. I was like, oh yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good choice.
Yeah, we
it
were
does-
sitting there,
it
and I was
does-
like, Gretchen, that's toxic. It's like, what?
Yeah, it does that
Let's
thing
do
where
it.
the first bar to you only go, I know that. What is that?
Yep.
And then it clicks, and you're like, well, that's the perfect choice here.
Yeah,
And honestly,
It really was.
I loved Angel of the Morning to close the movie out.
yeah, that was good too. That was a good choice there. But that Toxic cover was
That was fantastic.
well played.
Mhm, mhm.
It was perfect for where it was.
Yep. Laverne
It
Cox
was-
is looking good.
Yeah, always does.
Another thing I thought of, when people say that like so and so is the poor man so and so, when I was watching Carrie Mulligan, I just kept thinking that is it the poor man's?
Uh-oh.
The poor man's Carrie Mulligan is Anna Faris, because there were
Oh.
times just in
Other way
that
around.
movie, there were times I thought she really resembled her. Carrie Mulligan being here, Anna Faris being over there.
I got my eye on
I-
you, Lena.
I don't see what's happening.
I know you
don't
do.
really understand what's going on.
You could
Yeah.
deny it if you wanted to. I think that's all I have to say. The movie was shot in 23 days. I thought that was interesting.
Wow. Well, that doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
23
There's
days.
not, cinematographically, there's not a whole hell of a lot going on with it.
No.
Right? Like all the sets are not super elaborate
Yeah.
or interesting.
Also, her house. What century was that? It was so
Weird.
kind of 70s, but later 70s. Not like the hippie 60s, 70s, but later 70s. I remember so many houses like that when I was a kid. I did see that, Mitch. I
bleak
absolutely did.
recession 70s.
Mitch asked, did you see the critic that caught heat for comparing Carrie to Margot Robbie? I did
You know what's
see
interesting? Margot Robbie was a producer on this.
that. Was she really?
Did you look at the producer list? The
No.
producer list,
No.
when the names were flashing up, I was like, this is a weird list of producers.
Huh.
Because it was her, and there was like one other name that jumped out at me, and I was like, what? Where the hell is the list of producers, Tony?
It's in the same link as like the cast is.
See full
If you-
cast.
Yeah.
Computer, full cast. Computer.
Okay, it's Tom Ackerley, Glenn Basner, Ben Browning, Allison Cohen, Emerald Fennell, Ashley Fox, Fiona Walsh Hines, Jose McNamara, Carrie Mulligan,
Milan Papelka.
Milan Popelka, and Margot Robbie.
I don't know why I thought that Margot Robbie was I don't know why I thought that there was another person
Oh.
on here that jumped out to me.
Well, casting was by Lindsey Graham, but I'm going to assume that's a different Lindsey Graham.
Let's not though. Let's not assume they are different
Yeah.
people.
You know
That's
what? The
more
man's
funny.
gonna make money. More power to him.
I think Lindsey Graham's doing all right without casting money.
So, what's funny is one of the names in this is Emerald Fennel as the producer.
Hmm.
She's one of the producers. She's also in the cast. Go check that casting
Yeah,
out.
Host of the Blowjob Lips makeup video tutorial.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought was so cute.
She's also on The Crown, apparently.
Really?
I'm guessing not as a blowjob lips makeup video tutorial.
No, as
You don't know.
Camilla
unless you
Parker
do.
Bowles.
No.
Yes.
I hated her.
I didn't watch it.
I've seen all of The Crown. Wow.
So-
I did not know that was her.
Holy
Okay.
shit. So Emerald Fennel also was has the written by credit for this. She directed it. She has a bunch of episodes of Killing Eve that she wrote.
Hmm.
And apparently wrote a Zatanna movie that's in pre-production.
What movie?
Zatanna. It's a DC Comics
Oh,
magic-based person.
I got real excited because I thought you were talking about Santana, as in
No,
Carlos.
no, I would have been far more excited about that.
You piqued my Hispanic Latin interests.
Oh, Jesus.
Me and
Your
Carlos.
Hispanic senses were tingling.
Me and Carlos have a relationship.
Are you and Carlos smooth?
Yeah, we are on a first name basis. And by that I mean I know his first name and he does not know who I am.
That tracks.
I don't know what else I thought jumped out at me about these producer credits, and I don't know why I thought this was weird, but
I'm curious to know a little bit of the history of it to see if Margot Robbie was ever attached to be in the film, and that's why she has either that or she picked it up at some point and then just decided to get it going as a producer. But I don't think she was an EP. I don't think she had an executive producer credit. So
I wonder if that's why that particular critic decided to compare the two, because I don't see any comparison. I mean, I don't see anything.
did
I
you
mean,
look
other
up who
than
Anna
they are-
Faris is?
They're both blonde
That's right.
women. I mean,
Both blonde. Well, that's all you need.
okay, here's a little bit more of the story. Emerald Fennel devised the concept of the film in 2017. She sold the script to Margot Robbie's production company, Lucky Chap Entertainment, after pitching the opening scene. So there you go. That would be why Margot Robbie's the one of the producers.
Europe.
About to say, it doesn't feel like she would have been attached to it because she's got so. Like, if you look at her filmography, she's got so much shit on here in this year and the next year. Like, I don't know how she would have time to do, like, anything.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a little note in the production notes on Wikipedia. A deleted scene showed Cassie with a bruise from an encounter with a potential date rapist that put her in danger. Cassie documented those dangerous encounters with a red mark in her notebook.
Oh, there you go, Eric.
at least I wasn't completely off base in thinking there was something up with that.
I did think there
mean,
were
yeah.
multiple colors, though, and there were, like, I don't know. I could come up with a whole color scheme.
See, I didn't even notice the different colors. The only thing I kind of focused on was she was digging so deep into that notebook that on every page you could see the
Yeah.
indents.
That's how you know
So-
she was angry.
So originally, Fennel planned to end the film at the time Cassie's body was being burned, but the production financiers balked at having a negative ending. She also considered an ending where Cassie appears at the wedding and kills responsible men, but deemed it unrealistic. She decided to have the ending where Cassie has a backup planned revenge, as she felt Cassie would be thorough in her planning and she would be aware she could die in her final mission. Additionally, Fennel stated that having Al apprehended at the wedding would reflect Cassie's sense of humor, which is why she plans that event.
No, I could see that, and I also agree that her going to the wedding and killing the people involved would have been a disappointing ending for me.
It would have just been a complete. It would have completely undercut everything they established about how she was doing this the entire time.
Yeah. Also, we have a mass shooting every day in America now, so I'm kind of burned out on those.
Again,
you've had a few. You've already had enough of those. You don't need to see another one.
Creatively, I find it lazy.
Oh, Jesus.
As prevalent as they are.
Yeah.
Well, and
it's almost a cliche.
It is.
It's both a cliche and also drastically inaccurate that you would do it with a female being the perpetrator. Pretty much every single one of these is actually an angry white dude.
Yeah.
With lady problems.
Well, there was one black guy.
That guy was the funniest guy in the goddamn movie.
Yes.
Surge pricing. you can walk, can't you?
He was on Veep and is really good on that too.
Why you gotta ruin everything?
Oh man.
Yeah. So, Mitch, this was the happy ending?
You got a winky smiley face at the end. There. What more do you want?
Yeah, it's I think it was the light happy ending because these guys at least got a comeuppance of sorts.
There was a semblance of accountability.
Yeah.
There was
Except
a semblance
Joe
of accountability.
who ran away from the wedding. Joe?
Yeah, I did like her sense of justice in terms of when she went to visit Alfred Molina, to visit that lawyer, and to she had something planned, and then he just completely undercut it all by being
human and
contrite.
Yeah.
So, have you guys read did you guys read anything about the Variety review of the movie?
No.
So this dude wrote the review. He's like, Mulligan, a fine actress, seems a bit of an odd choice as this admittedly many-layered apparent femme fatale. Blah, 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 Margot Robbie. Cassie wears her pickup bait gear like bad drag. Even her long blonde hair seems a put on. Okay? So then Carey Mulligan says, I felt like it was basically saying I wasn't hot enough. Okay? So there was a bunch of calls for this guy.
I did hear about this.
To get,
I heard about this.
Fired and all this stuff to be retracted. And so the guy stands by his review, and his response is, I'm a 60-year-old gay man. I don't actually go around dwelling on the comparative hotnesses of young actresses, let alone writing about that.
I mean, the thing is, I think there's a valid criticism of that being a negative aspect of the review, because I think the way she was presented in those situations was absolutely intentional. I mean, that the movies don't do this stuff by accident, right? I think it was intentional that she is almost cartoonishly made up for these encounters, because that isn't what these guys are looking at, That's the whole. Predators aren't interested in the hot chick. They're just looking to exert their power over somebody who isn't capable of fighting back. So, yeah,
You're not winning any awards either, bud.
Yeah, well, hell yeah, you're right. It's a line in the movie, right? Like they lampshade it. So,
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, that was the part of her performance I thought really that carried this movie was the way the switch would flip. Not from her pretending to be drunk to sober, but rather going about her daily life when she wasn't on mission. And she had that just kind of checked out vibe the whole time.
Yep.
She wasn't interested in anything. And then when she's on mission and it clicks and she goes sober, she's there, and she had an intensity in those moments, and which made her last revenge mission that the kind of different is she was on that the whole time, right? Instead of playing vulnerable to begin with, because the situation allowed it, she was on full intensity the entire time, and I thought she carried off that kind of dual nature of that damage this character is carrying really, really well.
Yeah, I would agree also that when she had those moments when she was talking to, I'm blanking on the guy she was dating,
Ryan.
Yeah, when she was with Ryan, and he would say something that would trigger her, like you could just see the look on her face. And what I loved, it wasn't this ridiculous outburst of emotion of frantic, oh my god, emotion. It was she turned off. She was done with the situation, and it was flight time. It was, I need to get as far away from this situation as I can, because this is bad news, and this is tripping off things for me. Probably at that point it was PTSD from things that she actually did experience, and all those red check marks in her book.
Yeah.
Did they ever say, because there were some parts in the beginning where, just people walking around the house, I wasn't always completely paying attention. Did Nina kill herself? Did they ever say?
That was what I assumed.
Yeah, they never establish it. They never actually establish it. And in fact, they only establish right at the end that she's dead, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Though, I was kind of like David. I basically assumed that Nina was dead from the get-go.
Yeah, as soon as they mentioned Nina, I was like, oh, that chick's dead.
And it took me a few minutes to realize when the scene with Molly Shannon, I was like, what? It took me a few minutes to realize that was Nina's mother. And I was like, I don't understand where this one's coming from.
God, I love this IMDb trivia. As of January 2018, Alison Brie's brother-in-law, James Franco, was accused by multiple women of sexually inappropriate or exploitive misconduct. Mostly former students of his, in addition to using Instagram to try and meet up with a 17-year-old girl at a hotel in 2014, which has nothing to do with this movie at all. God.
But doesn't it?
God, Alison Brie, talk about somebody who's been in everything. Jesus.
She is, so when did Community first come out? Because that was the first time I think I'd seen her in anything.
2009, according to this.
Okay, so 2009. So 12 years.
That's my first memory of her, too.
She's aged from little Annie Edison into day drunk wine mom, like in a perfect trajectory.
Yeah.
Like a flawless trajectory. Like absolutely everything about that feels perfect.
Well, I like your student there.
One of my students said of the end, I kept waiting for the man to decide to not keep being violent, but I guess men don't stop on their own. Yeah.
Lena, what do you got going on over there?
What do you mean?
It sounds like a party.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're watching TV in the other room. Is it too loud?
Yeah, make him turn it down.
No, I will. I will. Do they need, like, is it really bad? They had
No,
just turned
if it-
on the TV a minute ago.
If it was they were playing music or something, we might actually get bounced off of some of these services. That's the only thing.
They're watching some
if,
comedian. I think
yeah,
it was
if-
just the intro music to the comedian show.
Yeah, if all of
No,
these
you're good.
streamers, all these streamers have algorithms that listen for
Oh,
copyrighted material, and when they hear it, they just shut the streams down.
yeah.
If you get too many instances of it
You're
happening,
good. You're good. You
they'll
keep
shut off the
watching.
network.
You're just not. If it's music, you can't. Don't play any music that's music.
Alison Brie was in a TV series called Hot Sluts.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
What?
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
quality material, I'm sure.
I
And
don't
why
recall
wasn't
it either,
Why wasn't I called
but-
to be in that show? God
but
damn it.
I will. Whoa. What is going on in this show? Holy shit.
Did you just pull up the poster?
Fuck yeah, I did. Oh my god.
Now I got to do this.
So yeah, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I will be watching this. It's important to sample work,
It's background
From,
material, right?
broad diversity.
Endless cleavage, bitchy girl fights, and an 800-pound disco ball, all in one slutty nightclub. I forgot.
5.4 stars.
There's a child in the other room. Sorry.
It had
lucky.
5 whole episodes.
Listen, when you get it
2009.
right in 5 episodes, you don't need any more than that.
You don't mess with perfection.
Yeah. God, being an actor's got to be weird. Like, you get put in, when you're first starting out, and you got to do all this
Yes,
shit
I do.
work, right? And, so the first thing you're in is Hot Sluts, all right? So later, I just clicked through here, and let's just take this Zachary Abel guy. So that guy is still doing work in other things. So there is the possibility that at some point in the future, he's going to work with Alison Brie on another project, and they're going to be standing there talking, and then someone's going to come up and be like, "Oh, have you guys worked together before?" And then
No.
one of them is going to have to say, "Yeah, we worked together on Hot Sluts."
Maybe you just don't bring that up, though. I mean,
Oh no, I bring that up to everyone. You have to lead with that. Oh, this is the guy I worked on Hot Sluts with. I would never not bring that up.
It's fair.
Actually, a lot of these people from Hot Sluts actually went on to have long ass careers.
Long careers, yeah.
Yeah, and they're still actively doing stuff. Maybe this show was magic. Holy crap.
Yeah, it launched 1,000 careers. You don't know, man.
All right, I don't have anything else to talk about with this movie. What do you?
It was definitely one of those movies where I get to the end of it and went, "That was pretty decent." I'm not sure I enjoyed myself watching that.
It's kind of hard to say you enjoyed yourself with that kind of a movie.
Yeah.
It's like watching
Oh,
the Jim Jones
Tony, you're
Guyana
muted.
movie and going, "Oh yeah, that was just. Everyone needs to go see that."
Yeah, see, I don't know. I did enjoy the movie.
I
do
did,
think,
but
I
it's,
think there is a good strong audience for this movie and people I would recommend to see it. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but that's the point.
Sure.
That's what it was made for. And if you're feeling uncomfortable, then they're doing exactly what they intended to with the movie. But I think it's also not so overtly violent, overtly. I mean, and this is bad to say, but it is not as anti-man as some other movies are, especially a movie like Hard Candy is, because it's such a violent, strong edge to that movie that there is a dividing line between this movie, between Promising Young Woman and Hard Candy, and I think it tips it way more into the palatable mainstream movie audience.
I get that. I think I just fall more on the give me the hard candy, let's start killing some assholes side of thing. Give me the teeth.
Yeah. And Hard Candy is a fantastic movie.
If I can
just
find
think
it
this
streaming,
one-
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I think this is one that more people will be accepting of.
Well, let's put it
It
this
is
way:
more
Hard Candy wouldn't have gotten nominated for Best Picture.
No. No. Well, and I don't think this movie gets nominated for Best Picture 5 years ago.
I don't think. Yeah,
Don't
that's
know.
true.
No,
But why
that's-
why not Hard Candy get nominated for Best Picture? No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood were both nominated in the same year, but like,
Because the Academy doesn't see violence from women the same way it sees violence from men.
oh,
Yep.
my name's fucking Eric. I got an answer for everything, don't I?
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
I'm
And
sorry.
Wait, didn't Monster get nominated for
yes.
Best Picture?
I think so.
Come
Pretty
on,
sure
Eric.
I don't have an answer for that one.
Well, Monster was Charlize Theron though, so
Yeah. There's always exceptions, right?
mhm. She does look very mannish in that. So
I think this.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing, though. Actually, Hard Candy, the violence is specifically about her being a woman committing violence on men, whereas in Monster, I'm not sure. It's more the violence is the point. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. But I will say I don't see. So it was in. I agree. This doesn't get nominated for Best Picture 5 years ago. Because it's telling a very today type of story, and it got nominated for it. I don't think it is a strong enough film on its own to win Best Picture.
so
I
of
would
our-
have said that. I would have said that except for last year. Because a movie with
What one last year?
Similar-
I don't remember.
Parasite,
Oh, that's right. Okay, good.
and Parasite, I mean, tonally, there's a lot of similarities in tone to Parasite and to Promising Young Woman. I mean,
The-
thematically they're very different, but in terms of tone, I think there's a lot of similarities. I see that squinty face you're making.
I can't make it any harder.
I think
Because
this year.
I never expected Parasite to win last year. So
But Parasite also had some other stuff going on with it too. One,
It
it was a
did.
foreign film for the first time,
mhm.
right? That had a good chance of winning. The class stuff was a big conversation, a big ongoing big developing ongoing conversation the last couple years. So
Yep.
that stuff all made sense to me. And what's his face is just a good director, just in general.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that fucking guy I love. The dad. Can't remember his name.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
blanking
that's-
on his name also, but
Th-
yeah.
th- that's the thing. While I think you're right in terms of the aspect of there was a conversation going on around the topics of that film, that does apply, I think, to Promising Young Woman. But just taking it completely in their own rights, I think Parasite was a significantly stronger film than Promising
Yes.
Young Woman.
Oh, yeah. So I guess that kind of naturally bridges right into the conversation about the Oscars are this weekend.
Mhm.
Yep.
And we said that we would do some homework from last week to this and talk
Nice.
about
Nobody told
some.
me.
It's not my fault. You didn't pay attention to the video.
You
You
didn't
show
read
up
the
for.
The
notes.
video that I didn't watch. Yeah.
I was also here and didn't do the homework.
Even though you said you would, like you specifically said
So
you
what was
would.
the homework that I didn't
we're
do?
just gonna kind of quickly go through some of the highlights of what we think the Oscars are going to look like this year.
Oh, I saw 4 Oscar movies, and I still have a couple days to catch some more. This is the most Oscar movies I've seen, like in a given year, because
Not
I
me.
can sit on my ass and watch them.
Say, because we couldn't go to the
Marathon.
Oh,
marathons.
Yeah. My pick for Best Picture this year is going to be Nomadland.
I watched that after Promising Young Woman tonight.
Do not spoil it for me, or I will fight
So
you.
good.
I
Oh,
bet
definitely.
Nomadland is going to win. I don't think Judas and the Black Messiah is going to win.
I
I
still
don't
have to
think-
see that.
If Mank wins, it's only for masturbatory reasons.
Yeah, that'd be awful if that one wins.
Yeah.
The Trial
I
of Chicago
agree.
7 was very good, but I don't think Oscar winner good.
I liked Mank, but not Oscar-worthy Mank.
Yeah, you weren't here for Mank.
You must not have watched the video last week. We kind of
No, but
we had questions.
did I not say, and I could even pull it up, it's on my phone, I said it was a good movie, but there's nothing to talk about. I was like, it's not a podcast-worthy movie.
Didn't you
Oh, there was
recommend the
plenty
movie?
to talk. There was plenty to talk about.
I didn't think there would be. I
Oh.
said I watched it and it was good, but I didn't
Gary
think
Oldman's
it
a
would
human
really make it
chameleon.
good. God, he's so damn good.
He
Yeah,
got drunk both standing up and laying down.
Also,
So
after
so
the
yeah,
movie,
go ahead.
me. After after the movie, I saw some article. I don't know if the Hearst Mansion was for sale, but there was an article on the Hearst Mansion, and they were showing pictures inside. And oh my God, it blew my mind how good they reproduced it. It was because I did read that it was not filmed there. They reproduced it for the movie.
I was just going to make up that they filmed there.
It was spot on, man.
And then you were going to be like, was it? Then I'll be like, no, it wasn't. I made that up. So I'm kind of upset that you knew it wasn't filmed there already.
Make up
Yeah,
for the fact that I didn't do my homework and I recommended
Right.
the movie.
I don't think like Mank really does not deserve to win Best Picture in any sense of the word.
I agree.
If it does, it will be for purely insider Hollywood wankery. But
Agreed.
I do think in another year, Gary Oldman could absolutely win leading actor for Mank because he's a wizard.
Mhm.
Except that this year Chadwick Boseman is up for leading actor, and I would put a lot of money down on him getting a posthumous nod.
Also, I'll just go ahead and say it. He was better in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom than Gary Oldman was in Mank.
I need to see
Oh,
that
sure.
still.
Sure.
Easily.
I'm not even saying it's not deserving. I'm saying that in another year that would have been a best actor performance.
Yeah, that I agree with.
I would love
Okay.
to see Frances McDormand win for Best Actress. I would
Tell-
love to see that, but I still need to see. I need to see Viola Davis. I heard she's really good, but I haven't seen it yet.
She's very good. Tony,
I-
what you haven't said anything for a while, Tony. What do you got going on over there?
I was just letting you guys talk it through. I today watched Sound of Metal. So I've seen 5 of the 8.
Oh,
Best Picture.
Such a damn show off, Jesus Lord.
No, it's just that I couldn't get the other 3 in.
Well, you have until Sunday.
I really don't. I have like no time.
Oh, that's right. You
I'm
have
watching
the
the same.
Holden
I've
stuff.
got like 6 hours of Addams Family to watch over the weekend.
I have
Um,
absolutely nothing to do, so I'm going to try and watch as much as I can.
why don't you rent Addams Family and watch it?
Oh, that's right. I was going to. I can do that. I can do that.
I really liked Sound of Metal.
Okay.
I liked it a whole bunch. And I thought Riz Ahmed was fan-fucking-tastic in it. I have not seen The Father or Minari, but for me, the best actor, I think, is going to be Riz Ahmed.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, Chad Boseman was fantastic. I think calling him leading actor in that movie is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, especially since they made Daniel Kaluuya actor in a supporting role for Judas and the Black Messiah, which
Yeah.
is baffling.
It is, but it isn't. Just because that was such a big. Well, I don't know. It's tough with that one because it could have been
The other guy.
Lakeith Stanfield also, but they were both supporting role.
So they were both supporting each other, Tony.
They were. For me, for supporting, it's Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah. For sure. And I've seen 3 of the 5 there.
And I've seen 4, and I don't know the name Paul Raci, but if it's the guy I'm thinking of, he was pretty goddamn fantastic. Not Daniel Kaluuya fantastic though.
You know, Sacha Baron Cohen was also phenomenal in Trial of Chicago 7.
Oh, 100%.
But again, it's a bad year for him, and B, I'm not sure the Academy gives Sacha Baron Cohen an Oscar.
Borat's not going to get an Oscar.
Exactly.
Also, he's not getting an Oscar for a Netflix movie.
You think that's actually going to be still enough of a stigma to, anything?
Yeah, I do. Has Netflix won?
Judas and the Black Messiah was a Netflix film too, right?
I don't think so.
Was it not actually?
No, it's it was released in theaters. It was on HBO Max also.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
It was one of those ones that Warner's released for 30 days on HBO Max when it also went to theaters.
Yep. All right, so I think that's actor and leading and supporting. How about actress?
I really want Frances McDormand to win. I'm going to try and watch as much as I can, but I can't imagine I'm going to change my mind.
Okay, so best actress in a supporting. That's just because that's what I've got on the screen right now. It's Maria Bakalova from Borat's subsequent movie film, Glenn Close from Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman, Father, Amanda Seyfried, Mank, and Yun Jung Ewan. I'm probably butchering that name from Minari.
I saw Hillbilly Elegy.
I saw Borat's subsequent movie film and Mank, and of those 2 movies that I saw, it goes to Maria Bakalova.
Oh, okay.
She was amazing. She was absolutely fantastic.
I thought Glenn Close was so good in Hillbilly Elegy. It was another one of those movies where the only thing I knew about it was I knew a lot of people from that area complained about how it was portrayed, how the Appalachia was portrayed. I knew nothing about it. I didn't know it was based on a true story. Not until the movie was over, and they were like, so-and-so went to this school, so-and-so married this girl.
Whoa,
shut up. I'm not giving anything away.
There are schools in this world.
So spoilers.
That seems fanciful in Appalachia.
And let me tell you something, Lena. I do not hold with spoilers, all right? I am very anti-spoiling.
Okay, so best actress in a leading role. Viola Davis from Ma Rainey's, Andrea Day, United States versus Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby, Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand, Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan, Promising Young Woman.
Listen, I think Viola Davis
Spoiler:
should get
there's
it.
some naked Frances McDormand in the movie.
That is not the enticement you think it is.
Actually, it kind of should be. I was like, look at you. You go, baby.
This isn't there's naked Allison Brie enticement, all right?
Are we being an ageist, sir?
No. Didn't I just tell you that I thought Allison Brie is aged into a middle-aged mom?
A day drinker, yeah.
Day drinking mom?
I really, really liked Nomadland. It's one of those
I
like
feel like it's gonna be Frances McDormand, even though I want it to be Viola Davis. Because goddamn, she was so good as Ma Rainey.
I'll probably watch that next because I really did. If assuming it's still out there somewhere.
It's
Which
on
hopefully-
Netflix.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on
is it
Netflix.
still okay? Good.
Yeah, it's a Netflix movie.
Why did my computer just beep at me?
Because it's like, hey, Lena, it's on Netflix.
It's just telling you Netflix is informing you. Click here.
Oh, I have email. What?
All right, so yeah, I'd like to see Viola Davis. I think Carey Mulligan did a great job, but I don't think it's. I mean, she was definitely the lead actress in this movie, but I don't think it competes with some of these folks.
Yeah. And then I'd be lying if I said I cared about any of these other categories. I'll probably gonna watch another one or two of these movies beforehand.
I'll be curious to see who wins Best Original Screenplay. I've seen 4 of those movies.
See, Sentimental Trial, Judas. Ooh, that is a strong original screenplay.
That's a strong
I'm
grouping.
looking.
Yeah.
Where the heck is it? Original screenplay. Oh,
Judas and
oh.
the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial is Chicago 7.
So I have thus far only seen one. So hopefully by Sunday I can add 2 more at least. I hope.
Let's see. Adapted screenplays are Borat's subsequent movie film as adapted. The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. I still want to see One Night in Miami, but I haven't had a chance to see that one yet.
Oh yeah. I want to see that.
All right, and Best Director. I've only seen Mank, which is David Fincher, and Emerald Fennell, of course, for Promising Young Woman. There was also Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, and Chloe Zhao for Nomadland.
What is Minari? I've not heard of that.
Oh, Another Round. That's got my boy in it.
Which
Good
one?
old swinging Dick Mads Mikkelsen.
Ah,
Minari is the film about a Korean family in America that decides to take up farming in like
Oh,
Mississippi or Arkansas, something like that.
okay.
And stuff happens.
As it tends to. Okay.
I haven't seen it. I do want to. That's
Oh, it's not available for rent anywhere. It's everything. To see that, everything is $20.
yeah. That's why I haven't seen it.
It's a pandemic. Don't they know we need entertainment?
yeah, they need money because they tried to release this in theaters and couldn't.
Pandemic's over.
Because
What are you
the
talking
pandemic-
about?
Not for another 2 weeks for me. Give me a break.
I am fully vaccinated. Woohoo.
I can practically see the antibodies swimming around in your bloodstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta see someone about that.
All right. Best picture.
5G is what's interfering with your camera.
Figured it out.
Best picture. Well, that we did that already.
No, we haven't done best picture yet. Like we talked about some of it, but
Oh,
I never.
shit.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So the Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, The Trial of the Chicago 7.
From the three I've seen, I go with Nomadland, but I still want to see the Trial of Chicago 7. And is the Judas movie in there? Did you say that?
Yep.
Judas and the Black Messiah is
Yeah,
in there.
I still want to see that too. But from the three I've seen, I'm going with Nomadland.
I don't know. I'm torn on this one because I really like Judas and the Black Messiah for this, but I have a feeling that Trial of Chicago 7 just might be there.
Mhm.
I feel culturally, Black Messiah is the thing to go with this year.
If I was picking what I actually think is both worthy of and likely to win, I think I'd go with Black Messiah, Judas and the Black Messiah. I think it's got the best shot of the list. Having not seen Minari, or I think a couple of the other ones, but
Yeah, without the three that I've not seen, I don't think Mank, Promising Young Woman, or Sound of Metal deserve Best Picture. At least not in a world where Judas and the Black Messiah and Trial of Chicago 7 are both there
Yeah.
and released in the same year. Like, both of those two movies are just, I think, that much farther above.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I haven't seen Nomadland, and the Academy does love Frances McDormand.
Mhm.
It's got real nomads in it.
Why don't you just spoil the whole fucking thing for me, Lena? Yeah, but here's the thing. They love Frances McDormand, but not necessarily the movie she's in.
Oh, it was
It's
a
got
great
nomads, you know.
movie.
it's got nomads. It's also got land in it, David.
Whoa, you just busted this case wide open, Sherlock. Yeah, I think she's gonna win Best Actress, but I don't think that movie's gonna win. I say, having not seen it at all.
Okay, but there's still a couple more for me to see. So I base my Nomadland on the three that I've seen, because I don't think Mank or Promising Young Woman would win.
I agree
No.
with that.
Yeah.
I'm smelling Judas and the Black Messiah for Best Picture. It feels like it's a black movie time for something to win. And I don't think the Academy actually gives a shit about what movie's the best. I think they just pick a movie based on what the vibe is in the room.
Yeah, it's either the vibe in the room, or if they feel someone or something deserves the win.
That they've been kind of shut out on and it's their turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the Susan Lucci
Either-
rule.
Either the person or the genre or the theme.
Well, Ryan Coogler's been doing a lot of good stuff.
Yes, he has.
You know who he brought me? M'Baku.
M'Baku. Oh, Lord.
Hey, so while we're talking about Ryan Coogler, since I brought us here, Black Panther 2 is coming out in 2022.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do we think that's going to look like?
I don't know.
I mean, other than black.
I don't know. Like I
You think white? Oh.
I think
Bad
no,
design
no.
All Asian cast.
Yeah.
I
My,
heard that. Hi, baby.
My thought is that one of the things I heard is this is going to be the way that they're going to introduce some of the larger Marvel world to the story. So that's why they're still really pushing forward with it. Like, this could be where we see Namor. This is where we could see Doctor Doom. coming into
oh
the
my
world
god! Is this
because
the
they're
entire? It's going to be the entire
competing
WandaVision?
nations. No,
Yeah,
it's like the competing nations thing, though.
Which reminds me, I have a
That's the
Marvel
thing.
question after this.
Everyone. It seems like that is what everyone theorizes about every upcoming Marvel property now is, oh, this is going to be the one where they introduce X to the universe.
Eric,
And
you don't even know the 40-hour work week we put into theory crafting. The big surprise at the end of
Hi,
WandaVision.
Romeo.
so how'd that work out for you?
You
How'd
know
that-
what? It didn't work out for me.
I suspect, if anything, that Black Panther 2, because of the people who are making it, is going to do everything it can to limit the amount of wider MCU interaction and focus more on a centralized Wakanda story. That actually reminds me, I had read about the first Black Panther, and this is all hearsay, but that there was supposedly an early draft of the first Black Panther film that got completely changed over, where they wanted to really just have the entire film be set all in Wakanda and have an entirely black cast for the whole movie. And it didn't end up going that way. But one of the things they ran into very early when they were kind of putting this together was, well, shit, how do we do our Stan Lee cameo? And the suggestion made for that draft. No. The suggestion made for that draft was literally right at the beginning of the film. It opens with some of the Wakandans escorting a confused-looking Stan Lee across the border out of Wakanda, and he's like, "I thought this was how to get to South Africa," and that's it. And that's the only white guy in the movie.
That's actually a pretty clever way of doing it, though.
Oh my god. Okay, my question. The one that's coming out, Shang-Chi? What is it?
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Who is that? Am I supposed to know who that is?
No.
I mean,
is it like
it's
a
a much-
new?
It's not new, but it's
It's
definitely
new to the MCU.
Okay.
new to the MCU and very much kind of a C-list character
Yep.
in the Marvel comics.
What you need to know is it's Jung from Kim's Convenience.
Really?
I would not lie to you about this.
I've only seen a few episodes of that, so now I need to go back.
I am really looking forward to that movie, both for the superhero martial arts is always cool, and the fact that they're actually going to have a lot of actual Asian people cast in it is a good thing. And then
You didn't enjoy Iron Fist?
and then the God, the title having the subtitle being about the Legend of the Ten Rings or whatever, that's classic Marvel, magical bad guy type stuff. Which having that in a movie where you don't have it be a racist caricature of the Mandarin fighting Iron Man or whatever, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's a character they teased going into the Iron Man, throughout the Iron Man movies, and then they brought us Ben Kingsley, which was I thought was perfect.
It was the perfect way to handle that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It was absolutely the perfect way to handle an extremely racist caricature in the comic books, and just the way they did it. I know it butthurt a lot of people, but that made me even happier when it butthurt those particular people.
Yeah, I heard some of those people whose biggest complaint about Iron Man 3 was, oh, they ruined the Mandarin. I was so looking forward to that. I'm like, you could not do the comic book. You can't. Come on.
No. Which is, I mean, it's also a similar problem that Marvel had with the Ancient One. And they were in a very much a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation where you either show the ancient one for an old Asian dude and then have to really play that up to make the stereotype, or you completely subvert it by making it a Celtic woman who is the ancient one.
I mean, to be
And
fair,
it's a
Tilda's-
completely different magic idea, but it still works within the world. So
and Tilda Swinton is so alien anyway. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
she's so distant from humanity.
100%.
And I agree. It was definitely damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And I was wary of the choice they made. But honestly, once I saw the Doctor Strange film and her reprisal of the role in Endgame, like I like the choice they ended up going with.
Yeah, I did too. But yeah, and she's not even listening now anyway, so. So yeah, there you go.
What
That's
did I-
the
oh,
whole
stop it.
history of Shang-Chi.
Such an ass. Suck it. I do need to tap out though.
See ya.
Okay, calm down. We're doing Mortal Kombat next week?
Yeah.
Sweet
That,
Jesus.
that.
Okay.
Maybe
I'll
I'll have
watch.
to go back and watch the original again.
You should. For the comparison, you absolutely should. It's such a
Oh.
classic of that era. Oh,
I don't even know if does it even exist. I'm sure it's
oh,
got
I'm
to be out
sure.
there
I'm
streaming
sure
right now,
you can
especially
find it somewhere.
especially with this one coming out. They've
Yeah.
got to have it out there, even at least for
Searching Prime
rental.
right now.
Okay. I'm gonna go, and I'll see you guys next week.
$3 to rent on
See ya.
Prime.
Bye.
Just got instantly quieter.
I'm looking on 1995.
Oh.
Jesus.
It's good movie times.
I saw a side-by-side picture comparison of the chick who played Sonya in the movie, and then the same chick now, and she's like 50, and she's still got that hard-ass body. Fuck, let me find that picture for you. Mortal
Down
Kombat,
with Sonya.
Sonya before, after. That was not the thing to search. Sonya current? Nope. Fuck, I don't know where I saw this thing. When I come across it again, I'll let you know.
It's $2.99 on YouTube, $3.99 on iTunes, $2.99 on Amazon, $2.99 on Apple TV.
I think it said that Peacock you can watch it for free with ads.
There you go.
Why did they change Sonya in Mortal Kombat? Get the fuck out of here. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah, both Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are on Peacock apparently.
Okay, one of those two things is worth watching.
Wow.
Was that the Van Damme in
Maybe.
or in
I don't
Street
I don't
Fighter?
know.
Woof.
The only more and more convinced the only really, really good Jean-Claude Van Damme movie after Time Cop is JCVD, where he plays himself, but he is secretly a secret agent.
Why
It is
are you like this?
ridiculous, but also fantastic. It's got such a strong Kung Fury vibe to it. Not as quite as the over the top ridiculousness of Kung Fury, which, god damn it, if it wasn't for the pandemic, I'm pretty sure we'd be watching that movie right now, Kung Fury 2.
Don't even talk to me about that. Hell yeah.
I could see it coming.
I know. I could feel it coming, but I couldn't quite tell if it was going to happen or not. All right. What else we got here, kids? Because I'm getting tired.
Yeah, I don't think I have a whole lot else. But Michael Fassbender is going to be in Kung Fury 2.
What you say?
Yeah. And also Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I can't thank you enough. Yes, come on.
Hey,
Let's go get some.
David, chill out.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right, gents. Let's call it a night.
Yep.
See you guys next week.
Yep.
Sounds
See-
good.
Romeo, come on.